So I use the noise here for the erosion. I will put it there because I will also use it for our gold pass. So okay, non-uniform blur. What settings? 50, 135, 9 samples. Okay. So I will make the gold pass here. So non-uniform non-uniform blur. Yeah. Okay, actually the grayscale and the blur map come from the histogram scan. Okay, nice. That is in the gradient path. So let's do it. Okay, simple trick. If you want to duplicate a link like this, you just have to hold Control and it will duplicate. But before plugging it in, just have to let go of Control first. Okay. I have to go back to the settings. 50, 135, 9 samples. Okay. Intensity 50, angle 135, and 9 samples. I'm wondering about the blades, actually. Only one blade. Okay. Usually, if you want to have a good quality, I usually set the samples and the blades to the maximum. But here it's not what I want, so just gonna leave it like that. Because we really want something like more information here, like strata, layers of gray scale lines that we can play with. To give this nice mineral effect, which I really like. So now we are going to use a non-uniform directional warp grayscale with the result of our non-uniform blur and the clouds too for the intensity and warp angle inputs. Okay, so non-uniform directional warp grayscale, and this noise has the intensity and warp angle input. Just want to do it again. I hold Control, I click, I let go of Control, and it's fine. Okay, cool. What settings? 9.6, 57, train max mode. Maybe I can just leave it at 10. I think it was 57. Max, no trail length. Okay, yeah, we're starting to really get what we want for the gold. I think then just invert it, I guess. Maybe it's a bit later. Okay, that's it. I invert it. Then we use a histogram scan to select only the brightest areas. So with a low position and relatively low contrast. 0.08 and 0.2. Okay, cool. And then it's just a matter of blending it, but we need also, of course, to break down this to make it more subtle. I just use a non-uniform directional warp again. So 20.5, 226. Okay, let's see. Yeah, the settings are all different. Okay. Maybe we can try to replicate something like that without looking at the settings and doing it on our own. So non-uniform directional warp. Trail length is interesting because, as you can see, we get more depth. So that's kind of nice. You can play with the angle. This is also interesting to make it like that, to see what the settings actually do rather than just copy pasting them. Okay, let's see if we are far off or okay. I use the higher intensity mostly. That's it. I think the trail length is also very important in our case. Okay, that's fine. Then I know that I blend this with a max lighten mode and the same pattern but tiled at least 2 times and probably rotated a little bit and with a levels node to turn it down. To clamp it a little bit and to have less white parts. What are the settings for the safe transform? Just tied to small rotation and that's it. Okay, cool. That's what I did. And I use the levels. I want just a little bit. Okay, that's really nice. Okay, cool, very cool. Different, but close enough. Okay, let's save our project. So this is the gold generation, gold pass. Cool, we can change the color. Then it's time to go through the normal and then the roughness. For the normal, I just want a perfectly flat and smooth surface with just the gold details subtracted from it. So yeah, let's do it. I used an histogram scan to strengthen the gold detail. It may not be really necessary, maybe more subtle like this. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, let's do it for our part. So we want a normal node, of course. I guess with a relatively small intensity. So this is what we want to subtract from the surface. You can do this very simply, actually, by just inverting it. So just an invert grayscale. Okay, cool. And voila. This is going to be subtracted from the surface. Let's plug it in the normal slot. As you can see, it takes effect. Only the gold parts are going to be subtracted. It's a bit strong for now, so that's why we can use a levels node here to just turn it down a little bit. Okay, cool. Of course, we are going to see it a bit better when the color is on and the roughness and the metallic pass, everything. That's it for the normal. Let's work on the roughness now. The roughness is going to be very easy. It's just our height map. We're going to subtract from it the gold, and then we can use a histogram range to kind of get some control over the glossiness of the material. But what I should do here is not use a blend node, but an invert. Because I would like the contour of our cells are a bit rough, and the erosion also needs to be a bit rough in my opinion, but you know, it's imaginary materials, so it doesn't really matter, and everything is pretty glossy, so yeah, that doesn't matter much. It's glossy, it's flat, so let's do whatever we want to do. Okay, so let's use a blend node from which we are going to subtract. Oh, cool. This material, this thing here, to make it some more glossy. Very cool. And this is going to be our roughness, and that's it. So the most important thing is that the future gold pass is glossy. Is more glossy, is glossier than the rest. So which is the case. So that's fine. So the roughness and the normal were pretty easy. And yeah, let's make our gold an actual metal. So we just need to crank up the white value here all the way to the max almost, and plug this into the metallic plug here. So we can use a histogram scan to do that. Should be totally white, but you can get some interesting results if it's not the case. In that case, we are not in a video game, so, and it's just a material, a standalone material, so we can do whatever we want. As you can see, the material is really starting to take shape. Now what we lack is just the color pass. So yeah, let's do it. So it's just a simple color gradient. Here it's a bit more complex, but still relatively simple. A blue, a white, and a green at the top, but I don't know. Let's try to do it. And of course, we copy the gold layer on top with a mask that comes from the gold generation. Let's try to do it. Could be fun. So we know that we need a color for the gold. So let's plug the gold into a gradient map. You could use actually a real, gold value, albedo value. Like you can do it with the material preset of a base material node. You can choose gold, and then in your gradient map, you can pick this color. And this is the correct value for the gold. Could be interesting, as you can see here. It's nice also just this gold leaves on top of the black material. It's kind of cool. But the black part is, in this instance, it's too simple. We need more variation, more stuff. So let's blend this gold with this mask with an interesting color for the stone, the mineral. Let's try to use this maybe. Let's try to choose a blue. Okay. Yeah, it's nice. Let's see what it does, what it gives us. Okay, we're not there yet, but we'll see. Maybe I will use not this one with the gold subtracted, but the previous one to make the main color. Yeah, it's a bit better. And then I don't want black parts too much. In the reference, we can see that the darker parts are dark blue, not black. So let's try to do it. So here, in this one, we can select a dark blue. Yeah, it's much better. And here, maybe light green could be fun. Something like that. You can try to use a HSL node to change anything, change the saturation, change the lightness, or the hue to get more interesting stuff, maybe. What's important, in my opinion, is that we feel a good gradient variation between the darker areas and the lighter one. So you may want to play with this slider. Yeah, something like that, for example. I think the gold is too glossy right now. So we need to do something about it by using a histogram range, for example, for the roughness. I usually like to crank up the range up to 1 and then try to play on the position. It's kind of cool. Okay, so but I said that, well, ideally, I would like a surface that is relatively glossy, like here, but the gold is still too glossy. So what I could do is maybe subtract less. So it's not as glossy. Let's try 0.07. Yeah, the color pass is fine in my opinion. It's different from what I had before, but it's still nice. The gold still feels really, really smooth. So I think we can increase the position here to maybe 0.4. I think it's a bit better. Well, I kind of like this blend of colors between this really light gold, not too strong, and the rest of the kind of blue marble attempt. Let's try with other assets, 3D assets. We see that the gold still follows the cells, the original cells, but kind of loosely. It's not exactly the same. You can play with the lights. So Control Shift right click. You can try with also other environment maps, maybe Tomoko Studio. Okay, now let's compare what we have here with the reference. Obviously, the colors are different. We can change this gold color with a HSL and not make it as realistic as it was. So maybe why not a green gold or something like that. And what if I used a histogram to really have a perfect mask? I think I used it before. Yeah, here. Gonna use this metallic mask for the color. Yeah, now it's going to be better. Yeah, I like this kind of greenish stuff. It's a bit messy. Then it could be interesting to maybe play with this pass in a gold pass here. So this is my version of it. It's very fun to make. Actually, I really appreciated it. You can come up with your own and yeah, see what you do. I would love to see your version of it. So yeah, and next month, so October 2019, I will propose to you another tutorial. It's going to be about bark, wood, tree bark, actually. So yeah, stay tuned and see you very soon. Bye bye.